Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife video for you today. We have my most EDC knives of March to April. You guys seem to like these monthly update videos, and the last one was more of a pocket dump. It wasn't just knives. This one is just knives. I'm going to try and keep changing those up every other month. You guys like the monthly ones, but I want to keep things changing. And the knives I've carried for this last month, when I went to go look back at my spreadsheet, I was really surprised. I've changed up my stuff a whole lot, and I haven't realized that. Some of it is just because it's new stuff, and I'm really in love with it. Some of it is some old friends that had come back. And I got a couple honorable mentions at the end, because I have kind of a weird situation going on. Next month's update is going to be really weird, because I'm going to be in another country where laws are different. But let's just get into the knives I've carried the most, and then we'll talk more at the end about things that are changing and things that I like that I just got in and just didn't have enough time to worm their way in. First up, we're only going to do five. We'll do five and then some honorable mentions. So first up, we have the ZT0609. Ever since I got this, I've been carrying it a whole lot. It is definitely my most carried of the last month. It is just, I love this knife. A perfect size for me, just under 3.5 inches. Beautifully done. I'll link to the review down below. It's just a great knife, and I love this thing. 20 CV, these nice bronze titanium handles, 220 bucks. I think actually pretty good price for it. I still don't have the tool to be able to tear it apart, and that slightly annoys me, but the only other thing that slightly annoys me about this knife is my own darn fault. It's probably not going to come in. I scratched it already, which upsets me, but I carry it a lot, so it's unsurprising. But that scratch wasn't from me just carrying it. It wasn't from use. I dropped something on it. It was sitting on the floor, and I actually dropped another knife on it. And it's a barely little scuff, but I feel confident in showing this to you because I'm never going to sell this thing. This is definitely a keeper for a very long time. It's a very cool knife. I just love it. The action is good. I just really like the 0609, obviously, because I bought it for my very self. Next up, which one do we want to do? Oh, the Kaiser Zip Slip. Also a fairly new addition to the collection, one-hand open slip joint. I just love the design and the concept of this. I've been carrying it a whole lot. It's just S35VN titanium slip joint, works really well. The ergonomics on it are just great. That one-hand open thing is just cool. Legal everywhere. This has become kind of my default gentleman's kind of knife. If I'm, sometimes I have to interview celebrities and stuff, and I have to dress nicely. This is somewhere in one of my pockets. I don't always even use the pocket clip. I always leave it on there, but sometimes it's just dropped in the bottom of the pocket or just in my coat pocket or something. But it's something that I have around a whole lot. Really cool knife. Very much like the Kaiser Zip Slip. These are 144. They have the new G10 version out too in the Vanguard series that's cheaper. I might pick one of those up, but I don't know. I like this one a whole lot. I don't really see the point in getting the cheaper one other than I am me, and sometimes I just need an excuse to get something. Next up, this falls into the old friends category, I think. This is a Benchmade 940-1, the carbon fiber S90V. I really missed having a 940, and since I got a new one, I've really been into it. I had a different version before. I had the REI with S30V. This is just, it reminds me why I love the 940. I just love the slimness of it. I love the lightness of it. I love the axis lock. I think it's great. It's so much fun to play with, and I put the deep carry pocket clip. This is a free one I had from Benchmade from before. It's the painted one. I might get the polished one. You can just call and ask nicely. I might get the polished one. I don't know. But really cool. I just like almost everything about it. It's just a great knife, and I really missed it, and it's kind of just reacquainting myself with an old friend. So I've been carrying this and using it a whole lot. An S90V. I'm not skilled enough to get it to take a really mirror polished edge. It probably wouldn't keep it anyway, but the S90V keeps a great working edge for freaking ever. So, all right, like this thing, another old friend that has come back, and this is literally an old friend because this is the one that I reviewed that someone loaned to me, and now I have managed to acquire it, and since I've acquired it, it has been in my pocket as my secondary knife almost every single day. A Cold Steel Lucky One. This is very, very nice. Carbon fiber, S35 VN, nice little slip joint. I just love the Lucky One. Hate the billboarding. I think that this pocket clip is kind of pointless. I wish that it just was not there and this was just smooth. But other than that, it still just finds its way in the bottom of my pocket all the damn time. It's actually starting to surpass my beloved Spyderco Roadies. I have 2 of them. I've been carrying this more than the Roadie this past month. It's just, since I've gotten it, I just really, I love this thing. It's S35 VN. It's so sharp. And it looks really cool until you open it and see the Lucky One thing on it. But it just sitting here closed, it looks great. Yeah, I just wish, I don't know, I'm thinking about calling Cold Steel and seeing if I can get a spare pocket clip, and then I might just take a Dremel to it and try and make it a spacer. Because when you remove this pocket clip, unfortunately, as you can see, you wind up with a little dent in there that's not terribly smooth. And I would rather not try and sand down the carbon fiber. I would rather get another pocket clip and try to create a spacer out of it. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, other than that, I just love this knife. It's just so slicey and just S35 VN and carbon. It's cool. Lastly, surprisingly for me, a guy who used to make fun of this company all the time and probably will continue to, but another Cold Steel, the Recon 1. Got this almost dead on a month ago, and whenever I need a big knife, this is what I reach for. It's one of the XHP versions. They've all gone to S35 VN now. This is one of the XHPs, which I think you can still find if you really look hard, but they are starting to go quick. Everybody's snapping them up. I love it as a big knife. Grippy, big, beefy, never gonna let me down, never gonna give me up. It's just really, really good heavy duty use knife. I love XHP. Super great edge retention, but also not insanely hard to sharpen. Carries well enough. It's light enough for a knife this size. Carries well enough for a knife this size. Yeah, it's not something I go walk around the neighborhood with in my pocket, but it's something I use around the house and doing real stuff all the time. Very, very cool knife. Really much like it. And as you can see, this has had some use put on it. And the DLC coating is sticking on it. I don't normally like DLC, but it's got one little tiny scratch on it there you can see. And other than that, it's held up pretty well. Pretty impressed with that. Now, 2 honorable mentions. This is one that if I would have gotten it like a week or 2 earlier, it definitely would have made the list because I've been carrying this a lot too. This is the WE 801D Minotaur with a cat hair on it. That's one of the curses of living in my house. Very, very cool knife. Love the action on it. Love the carbon. Just love the look of it. Really like the blade shape. I like that you can choke up. It's a really cool kind of juxtaposition to the 0609 because I love the 0609 for a lot of the same reasons, but this is a little thicker and heavier duty. It's kind of a meet in the middle between this is just it's not a light duty knife by any means, but this is more of an EDC sort of design where this is meant to be a little bit of a beefier EDC design. So it's been finding my way in its pocket a lot, but I've only had it for like, week and a half, something like that. So it just hasn't made the list yet, but very, very cool. Another one that I know will probably would make the list next month if I wasn't in Europe, because again, that's the same way with that. That's why I'm including it, because this is not, I'm going to be out of the country for 2 weeks next month, and this is not legal to carry in Germany and Portugal where I'm going, so I can't take it with me. So it's not going to make the list next month, but it would if it could. Same for this. Just got this. I haven't actually done the review of this yet. I've done the review. It's in the tank, but haven't put it out yet. This is the Steel Will Resonant, the carbon fiber titanium frame lock version. If you look back, you can see I reviewed the aluminum liner lock version of this, and I really liked it. And I talked to Steel Will and asked if they could send me one of these to review, and they did. This has also been something I really like, and I've been having in my pocket a lot since I got it. But again, I've only had this for several days, and I really do like this design. Great bang for the buck. $85. Carbon fiber, titanium, D2 steel. Action's good. Frame lock works great. yeah, this is a really good knife too. Now next month it's gonna be weird. The next month update is gonna be pretty big because I'm gonna talk about my Europe carry of stuff, not just knives, but the stuff that I brought with me. I'm gonna probably also add in a review of, I just bought an Osprey backpack. Which model is it? It's behind me here. An Osprey Nebula backpack. I believe when you're traveling, backpacks are the way to go. Much better than a carry-on bag. Here, I'll see if I can squeeze it under the camera here. I also, yeah, this isn't going to work. This is really big. But, yeah, I got an Osprey Nebula backpack. I'm also, as you can see, I'm a firm believer in when you're traveling, get a backpack with some colors. Because depending on where you're going, you might set it down. There might be other backpacks around. When you're in the airport and stuff, have something that's a color so it sticks out so you can see it. That's if you foolishly get up and walk away from your stuff, you can see it from a distance. So I'm going to be doing a whole huge update next month with just all my Europe stuff. And one thing that will definitely in it, because it's going, is my Three Rivers Viator. I put it back to a more stockish condition with the G10. These are the JG10 handles. Love this knife. Did a review of this just yesterday, I think. This is awesome. And it will be going with me. So I'm only taking some slip joints with me. Germany has weird laws where you can have locking, one-hand opening, but not both. You can't have them both at the same time. It's either or. So these two will be going. Probably this will be going. That's probably what I'm taking over there knife-wise. Spoiler alert. And these are all three probably going to be in my top 5 of next month because that's where I'm going to, all I'm going to have for a couple of weeks. Unless I buy something over there, which is not entirely unlikely. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And yeah, next month is going to be a full big crazy thing. I'm going to show all the stuff that I carry when I'm traveling on an airplane. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.